Hi, Happy New Year. It's now 1st of January 2023. Thought I'd come out in a break in the weather. We've had horrendous weather down in the southeast of England the last, well, Christmas break really, a couple of weeks. High winds, sideways rain, and we had snow prior to that, so I've not managed to get out. But during the Christmas period I bought this thing, the Lixada camping, stainless steel camping mug, and I thought I'd give it a trial out in the woods today with the dog. Whilst I was going to be looking at the mug, I thought I'd have some sausages on the go, so the dog and I are going to have some sausages and a sandwich a bit later on. And we've put the half Laavu up just in case it's raining a bit later on, because I think we've got a couple of hours of dry weather before the rain comes again. So let's crack on looking at the mug. So here it is. Cost about £23 I think on Amazon, including delivery, which is round about the price of a lot of the stainless steel camping mugs. The one I was originally looking at was the Bushcraft store mug, and that is rated really highly because of the fact it's supposed to be made of a thicker gauge steel, and the guy in the video shows himself compressing it like this. I haven't done it with this yet because I don't really want to ruin it just in case it's not that solid, but if I give it a bit of a squeeze now, I can just feel it's giving a bit, but I mean that's sturdy enough for me. So it comes in this nice pouch. I think it's not really supposed to be padded in any way. It's supposed to stop it from scratching. The other thing it'll be useful for is, of course, when you start using it on the open fire, it's going to turn black fairly quickly. So if you're fairly conscious about keeping everything else in your rucksack clean, once you've popped it in there, once it's black, obviously then it's not going to affect anything else in your bag. So that's handy. What you could also do, I suppose, is if you're carrying an Nalgene bottle will fit in there with your fluid or your water. You could then put the lid at the bottom of the bag, the Nalgene bottle in there, and then obviously the cup will still be blackened and still be protected, and you'd save space because your bottle of water would be in it. Yeah, so it's got a couple of handles here. They're not overly big. I haven't got massive hands, but they fit in there all right. It's not quite as comfortable as other cups, but I think it'll be sufficient. If you're lifting it off a fire, obviously you'd have gloves on your hands, so I forgot my gloves today, so I can't really show you what it's going to be like with a gloved hand. But there you go. It's got this handle on it, so you can hang it via a string system over your fire, adjustable string system, or on a fork stick. It's heavy duty enough, that's not going anywhere. It's obviously got a lid on it to keep the contents, or let the water heat up that much quicker. It's got some drain holes in the top there, so if you were draining, I don't know, you're boiling potatoes or something, or pasta, you could obviously hold the lid, put it on its side, and the water would drain out the holes. This little thing it's got on the top here slides, so it falls over. If you slide it over to one side, it stays in that condition. So if you had that on your fire and you just wanted to check see if it was boiling, you put a stick in there, lift it up, is it boiling, yes or no, put it back down again. So that's handy. The other useful thing is the measurements, the millilitres are embossed on the inside of the mug. So what that means is over the course of time, that's not really going to wear away. If it would do if it was printed on the side, or the inside or the outside. So I think that's quite handy. When you're filling it up, you can see it's graded up in ounces, fluid ounces, 8 to 16, and then millilitres, 200 to 500. So yeah, it's pretty solid. Comparing it against the thing that I normally use, which is this, similar in size obviously. This is the Crusader mug I sent away, and somebody made me a lid out of a billy tin on that. So this will hold about 500 ml, yeah, 500, well no, more than that, probably 700 ml. And this one I think is very similar. Yeah, this one looks like it's just over, probably 800 maybe. Different shape. This one's round at the base, this one's, I don't know how you would describe that, but obviously it's shaped that way so that the Crusader water bottle can fit in it, and I guess it fits on a hip pad if you were wearing webbing belt if you're in the army, so it's shaped that way. I find that slightly awkward if I'm using it on something like a camping stove, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean by that. But using it on open fire, I like it. The other thing with this is it's got great big grip on it. So if you've got your gloves and you put this on the edge of the fire, you can still get away with holding this with your bare hands, and it doesn't overheat terribly. So this was my go-to mug. So after this test, it'd be interesting to see whether I still use this or whether I go over to this one. But all in all, I think this should be a very good buy, and for the price it was on Amazon, I think you can't go far wrong with that. So as I was saying, if you've got a Nalgene bottle like this one is about 1,000 millilitres, so 1 litre of water. It will fit inside there nicely. It doesn't take up so much room. Then you would put the lid in the bag and store it this way. So what I'm going to do now is put some water in it and plonk it on the fire. This is what I was meaning about the Crusader mug being a bit awkward in other situations when you're using it to heat liquid. Because of the fact it's not round underneath, it's an awkward shape. When you use it on a camping stove, it tends to slip off. So a couple of times a week when I'm at work on cold days, I tend to have porridge or hot chocolate in the woods. So I use this to quite quickly heat the food up for me. So you can see that unless you're very, very careful how you put it on there, it tends to slip off. And with the liquid in there, sometimes it moves around, and yeah, it's quite tricky. And what you don't want to do is waste a load of time heating it up and then find at the last minute it falls off and you've wasted it all. Whereas because this is round, it sits on there nicely, it's not really going anywhere. Yeah, it's much better to use on the stove. If you've got a collapsible little wood burning stove like this, obviously it's going to sit on top of the stove on the grill, like any other cup would, so it's not really any different. What you could do, because I don't think the Crusader cup is going to fit through there, and because this has got the hanging handle, what you could do is still use this on an open fire. If for some reason it was really windy, you could get this on your open fire on the embers, put it down, nestle it in, and then potentially put that all the way through there, and then the sides of the stove here could act as a windbreak, and then obviously you'd have the heat of the open fire still coming up through the grill here. And because of the handle on the top, obviously it's much easier to lift it out, and the Crusader mug hasn't got that. So it fits in there nicely, even with the handles out like this. Grab that, put your gloves on, and lift it out. So might be quite easy to use if you carry one of these with you. So as I said before, you can obviously just plonk it straight on the coals, and it's going to get the heat straight up through there, which is probably the quickest method of doing it. But obviously you have to bear in mind that you must need gloves, because that handle and the this handle here are going to heat up really, really quickly. So if you haven't got gloves, use a stick. The other alternative is to put a stick in the ground, obviously, and then hang the pot over the fire like this. Right, I've just lifted that off the fire obviously and mixed the hot chocolate, and that's been off the fire for, yeah, a minute, less than 2 minutes. And yeah, that's not even hot, that's hot. Bale handle's not hot, these handles aren't hot. Bear in mind it was hanging, so this would have been, you know, that much hotter if it was in the fire. But yeah, I'm surprised that these aren't hot at all actually. So if you're desperate for a drink straight away, then you could probably sip out of that. Yeah, that's not hot to put your lips on. Obviously the water's very, very hot inside, but yeah, that's really good, look. Super pleased. Now all I need to do is extract my lunch. Yeah, they're cooked. Not sure about the dogs at the other end, but mine are alright. Slide those along for the dog, I think. Have to wait 5 more minutes, I think, Flo. See you next time. Flo. What's this? Sausage? Sausage dog. I foraged for sausage. Good girl, sit. Do you want some sausage? Yes, please. Sausage. Good girl. Whoa. This bushcraft is a hard life. You didn't have to cook it, dog. Not a bit. Oh, yum yum. Thank you very much. 3 bits, dog. Well, not to feed your trained animal companion. Go on, sit for this last one. Sit. Good girl. Have it. Is that nice? Yes, it was. Lovely. Bye bye.